What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's Top 3. Today we're going to be checking out some really exciting new releases to the playing card market, and we even have a sneak peek at an unreleased deck coming your way, so make sure to stick around to the end and find out which decks are our top 3 this week.
I'm excited to dive into this week's.
Dude, absolutely, man. And of course, we're going to be announcing our giveaway winner from last week's top 3, as well as another exciting mystery deck giveaway this week. So again, make sure to stick around to the end, everybody.
Let's dive into it, dude.
Let's do it. Why don't you tell us what's coming in at number 3 this week, Steve?
Well, number 3 touches on a little bit of nostalgia for me, but it is the Fries playing cards by Fast Food Playing Cards. It is printed by USPCC on their premium crush stock. It is a print run of 2,500 and retails for $12.95.
Very nice, man. Let's check this thing out.
I love this sideways tuck, and I used to work at a fast food restaurant, and this definitely does bring back a lot of memories.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I think having that sideways tuck is really cool. You have some ad copy on the sides, Fast Food Playing Cards, and I like the little nutrition facts on the back as well.
Definitely a fun deck, and I love the way they did the inner tuck printing there to really give that vibe of the French fry container for sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody knows what that design is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this card back definitely is great for cardistry. It has some broken borders, and being a USPCC deck, handles beautifully. I really dig that mustard yellow.
Dude, it really is very nice. Looks beautiful. And honestly, I like that kind of offset central mirrored kind of element there.
Yeah, it's different from normal, casino decks.
Yeah.
There is an ad card, which is really cool. Just a bunch of French fries, like in your face. You have actual 3 jokers. You have one here with French fries. You have one missing the French fries. And as you'll see in the back, you'll see it does have a reveal, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
Nice, fun French fries and ketchup ace of spades. And the pips are generally standard across the board, but it does have this little kind of white cutout, I guess you can say, in one of the pips.
Really digging the quartz here as well. That one definitely looks like Colonel Sanders, which I love. I've never been to Kentucky Fried Chicken to get French fries, but still a fun little reference there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this is the funny thing about this deck is they all touch on some fast food, I guess, mascot you can call it, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know a few of them because I'm not huge into fast food, but that Colonel Sanders one is definitely not a miss for me.
It definitely stands out the most out of all of them, but the courts are really fun. Obviously, all built off of the standard court card style to it, so they are still relatively standard and recognizable, but they all have those fun little flares to them.
Yeah, I love the little details with the ketchup and the in the French fries or hot sauce, or I don't know which one it was, but definitely fun.
An interesting use of yellow for the traditionally red suits as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of similar to what OPC does and kind of, brings in some fun elements to the deck.
Yeah.
There's your reveal on the other Joker.
Nice.
I'm not a huge fan of yellow, but I think this colored yellow with the French fries just... I think it works.
Dude, I absolutely agree. I definitely think it works for this deck. And obviously being part of a deck set, you have the ketchup and the fries playing cards there. The counterpart to this one is a red deck, and they both really fit very nicely together. A beautifully designed deck for that cardistry kind of momentum and movement there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And obviously, as you know, I picked the yellow for a reason.
Yeah. Dude, one day I'm going to get you on board with some red decks. Maybe there'll be maroon or magenta or something in the red family at least.
Yeah, I'm a fan of maroon. I'm not gonna lie. I like maroon. It's just that violent red. I don't think that I'm too familiar with.
Dude, I get that. And while you're all out there watching right now, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
And ring the bell too.
So number 2 this week is one I'm really pumped for. I think that we've seen some really fun Wild West decks this week, but this is a yet-to-be-released up-and-comer here. So coming in at number 2 this week, we have the Bicycle Wranglers playing cards from Penguin Magic. This deck is printed by USPCC on crushed stock. It is part of a 2,500 deck print run and retails for $14, but is actually going to be on sale for the first 72 hours. At $10, so it's absolutely a steal at that price point. Check this thing out, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
So as you can see, a very nice old Western style coloring to this tuck box off the bat. Kind of reminds me of the background color you'd see on like a Wanted poster from an old Western movie. Very, very nice, simple, but elegant black font and scroll work all over. You have that ad copy at the bottom there. Really fun tuck box though. Has a nice, really bicycle feel to it. Not just bicycle slapped on the tuck like you see with some decks, but really thoughtful design around that tuck.
Yeah, I like that sand color.
Absolutely. You have a mirrored cowboy relief here. Almost reminds me like of the Marlboro Man or something way back in the day. That very cooler, like a John Western style pose there. Very cool back design to this. And as you can see right there through that riffle, this is in fact a marked deck as well. This is a reader. Being a USPCC crushed stock, it handles and fans like a dream, but also has that built-in reader capability, making this a really workable and usable deck, which is fun. Obviously not playable, but still very nice for the magician in mind. You have these mirrored jokers here, which I absolutely love. That dude with the bullwhip getting ready to crack it there. Such a Western vibe to it. And then this really, really elegant, almost like sheriff's badge styled ace of spades there. And then you can actually see throughout this entire deck, you have customs pips and indices across the board. That is one area where I really love about Penguin Magic. They go above and beyond for decks that they're intending for Magic use, just to make them that much cleaner.
Yeah, and I really like how they kind of toned down this one and used kind of 1 or 2 pips rather than using all of them.
Exactly. I do have to say too, I like that rope border around the pips there that are the standouts, and I really just dig the quartz on this. They have a very almost like old time photograph feel to them. They really did a great job touching on that old world kind of vibe, that Wild West vibe.
Yeah, the one thing I would have liked to see is a little more details rather than the whip and the horseshoe in a lot of them, you know?
Yeah. That King of Clubs, I think it was, that we just passed by there, kind of looked like Val Kilmer in Tombstone. So
Totally.
I definitely dig that one there. But I really do love the style of this. Absolutely beautifully designed. And one of the cool things about this deck, too, is the entire marking system for it is actually designed by Phil Smith. So Phil, for anyone who doesn't know, is an absolute amazing genius when it comes to marked decks. So really cool to see him contributing to this deck as well. You have that double backer and a blank face card there, making it really, again, built out for Magic.
Yeah, they you know, we always love getting a mock deck from Penguin, so it's really cool to see
They're really
another
clever,
one across the table.
They're super clever with their marked decks, and I have to say, this is the first reader I've seen from them, and I think they did a really good job with it, building it out. I think they really touched on making it subtle but easily readable.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like in your face,
100%.
But it's definitely, like you said, readable.
I mean, dude, it was funny. I was looking through the PDF of the marking system, and while looking at the PDF, I had to stare at the cards for a minute to even be able to see it. And I'm like, wait, was this a reader or is it not a reader? And then I saw it finally. I was like, oh, read the instructions and everything and still couldn't see it immediately. But once you see it, you can't unsee it, which makes it great because there is that little bit of time where if you were using this with the spectator, they're likely not going to see it because they're not intently staring at it.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I'll be honest, I won't even see it. I'm getting old and my eyes are going. So, you know, it's I'm not a big reader, let's say, of mock decks because I can't see them.
Yeah. So, and for anyone who's interested in checking out the Bicycle Wranglers playing cards, those are going to be dropping on August 9th at Penguin Magic. They are going to be going for $10 for the first 72 hours, retailing for $14 after that. Definitely worth checking that deck out. Absolutely beautiful there.
That's a steal for $10, man.
Absolutely, man. Steve?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us what's coming in number 1, man?
Number 1 is the Queen Bee by Ellusionist. It is printed by Katamundi on their Slimline B9 stock, also known as E7 from Ellusionist. It is a unknown print run and retails for $12.
Dude, absolutely iconic deck here. Let's check this thing out.
Do it. This is a iconic deck. It comes in a nice craft paper Ziploc bag, which I thought was really cool addition to this deck. Beautiful matte yellow tuck with kind of honeycomb features on the back separating these two, looks like queens, and you have striped black pattern across the back as well.
It's funny because that front pattern almost gives me like a feel of like an Egyptian deck or something, more so than like bees with the court cards there and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. Here is a borderless deck back right here where you see 2 opposing yellow bees kind of spread out with their wings in each corner. I really dig that design.
Very cool. Yeah, very clean looking.
Yeah, beautiful, handling deck being Katamundi Slimline B9. And that fan is so cool, how that yellow B kind of rides along the whole entire fan.
Yeah. It's a really well thought out back design on that one.
Yeah, two duplicate jokers, one being monochrome, one being colored with black and yellow colored of the deck. You have nice honeycomb background of that main central B on the Ace of Spades. And as you can see with the rest of the other, B decks from Ellusionist, it has very small pips and indices.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of their decks are known for that.
Yeah, I'd like to see them a little bit bigger, but it's definitely tradition for the Beats series. I like the different patterns that they always pull into their face cards, and they do have one specific pip on each card have some detail on it.
Nice.
Which is just a nice touch.
Yeah.
What do you think of these court cards? Kind of similar across the whole board. It's kind of hard to tell them apart.
Yeah, they look a little bit repeating, but there's probably, they're probably 95% repeating with a little bit of 5% variation there. They're very interesting. I don't know how I feel about the bordered background on them, but they are very B themed.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more color in them just to break up that contrast, you know? Yeah, but I like seeing the little details in there, whether it's a little bee or, a honeycomb or something like that.
Alternatively, I even think switching the colors between the black suits and the red suits might have made it stand out a little more.
Yeah, no, I agree. And one good thing about the bee decks is what they do is they always donate to the cause of saving the bees.
Nice.
They've raised $50,000 in the past, which is amazing. And, they're not stopping here with this deck.
I think it's a great purpose behind it, great cause behind it, and it really is a fun-looking deck. If borderless decks are your thing, this is a beautiful, clean, fun one, really nicely designed, and the great thing about Ellusionist is the quality you're getting from them for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big fan of this deck. I think this one's my favorite out of the series.
Yeah, I can see that. The color's very vibrant, got a nice vibe to it. Little things here and there I would have done a little bit differently, but definitely a fun-looking deck.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that kind of simple, classic white back.
I get that, man.
Yeah.
And for the moment everyone's been waiting for, we're going to be announcing this week's giveaway winner, which is also going to be this week's comment shout out. So a big shout out to Daniel Vassalo, this week's comment winner and giveaway winner. You can see his comment right down below. Daniel, make sure to reach out to us, show@deckinaround.com, and we will make sure to get your mystery deck out to you as soon as possible. And for everyone else watching, make sure to drop a comment down below, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be picking one lucky winner to win another mystery deck next week.
Peace.